Hello everyone, welcome to Toti Talk. Within this podcast series, we're going to talk about agriculture and mechanization. And today we're going to talk with Vedran Stapic, professional journalist from Croatia, chief editor of Agroklub. Hello Vedran, how are you doing today?
Hello Fabian, nice and very nice to see you.
So the first question for you, just to warm up a little, tell us something about yourself and about your media.
Here today I'm representing Agroklub, which is leading digital media specialized in agriculture, which provides information services for farmers in Croatia, Serbia, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Usually when we try to present ourselves, we say that we work at the cross-section of the media industry, agriculture, and information technologies. So we are talking about the specialization between those three industries. Agroklub was established 15 years ago in 2008. So we can say that we are kind of online teenagers right now. It's maybe not so much compared to the traditional media, but it's quite a long period in online business because it is not so old. We have been running this project from the very early stages of the digital era, and a lot of things changed in these years. For example, when we started, our members used only their computers at work or home to surf and explore things on the internet. But nowadays, numbers say that more than 80% of visits come from smartphones. So obviously, we didn't use mobile phones in the past for reading online magazines. We are used to say that Agroklub is an information system because it contains more than only news service, which are most famous, but we also offer classified services. We also have different kind of databases for the farming industry, like databases for pesticides, for fertilizers, for different commodity prices, and so on. And moreover, we integrated elements of social networking in our system. So our members, when they are online and logged in, they can chat, comment, interact with each other. They can post different kind of activities from their daily lives. We publish on Agroklub. We publish articles. We publish videos, photos through web edition firstly, and also through the mobile app, and a weekly newsletter, which is sent every week to our members. Of course, we are active on social networks like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn also in the last period. And we engage a lot of farmers from the region through those channels. Also, I used to say that we like to use the YouTube for those guys who are more video oriented, I would say. If we talk about the reach, which is something that is usual in a media, tools that we use Google Analytics for that, says that in the last year we had more than 50,000 visitors daily. So we used to say that we have more than one big stadium of farmers on our online tools and services. We have today 14 employees in 3 offices. The first office was established in my hometown in Osijek. The second one is in Novi Sad in Serbia. And the third, which is established last year, is in Sarajevo, in Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's capital city of Bosnia. And plus we have a network which have more than 40 freelancers, journalists who write for us from the different regions in those countries. That way we got news directly from the field. I don't know about Agroklub. I think I said a lot. Maybe you ask something about me. My background is mostly technical. I'm engineer of information technologies, specific expertise in building and running online projects. But after the 15 years in agriculture media, as someone who also writes about agriculture, nowadays is all about the farming and the life in rural areas. Of course, we are nowadays focused just on Agroklub. We don't do business for other digital projects. Also, I would like to mention that I play some kind of role in the Croatia Association of Agricultural Journalists as a vice president, and also I'm one of the board members in the INAEJ, which is a European network of agricultural journalists. In both associations, we are trying to develop agricultural journalism to the higher level. So because of that, we try to organize the press trips for journalists. We create some kind of events and webinars for them. We are trying to help the development of the young journalists who want to specialize in agriculture. So different kind of activities in the scope of our business.
Okay, Vedran, thank you. And talking about technology, as you mentioned, brings me directly to the second question for you, which is about new technologies. And I'm talking about robot technology, autonomous driving, digitalization, and precision farming. So from your professional point of view and perspective, how is it moving in your region, in your area, in your country, actually?
As an engineer of information technologies, I'm quite open to the new technologies, of course. On the other side, the farming sector is a bit conservative, I would say. And as a digital media, we are trying to encourage farmers to use the new technologies. We are trying to promote new concepts and spending a lot of resources trying to explain what digital transformation of agriculture means for farming and for the society in general. So I think that we all expected faster transformation that it is in a reality, but there is a plenty of reason why it's situation like that, and it's maybe a bit frustrating. From my point of view, the major issues are covered in two variables. First, the farmers need more money for investment, and it's not especially good situation nowadays on the market for them, and they are depending of the government and EU funds to do that. And the second reason, I think it's a generation issues, because farming is not so attractive for young people, and the older population is not so open to the change, which is obvious and not surprising. So when we have those two things, we can conclude that we need more investment in the sector, and we need more time to see the bigger impact and the better results in the future. Our farmers are quite familiar with precision farming nowadays, and there is more and more companies who use, for example, satellite images or drone images for indexing and mapping fields, for variable fertilizing and different activities. That transition is maybe most challenging for the small farmers, not for the big ones, because small farmers, they don't have volume of production on enough level to have a frequent investment in their business. I would like to mention that we are running a researching project with our local university on a project that we are trying to see what kind of online tools and services nowadays is the best for the small, especially for the small and the medium farmers, because as I said, the big farmers, big companies, they have a people, they have a knowledge, they can buy things because they have good income, but the small one need that kind of push on a market to invest, to discover opportunities that they can get with the new technologies. You mentioned the autonomous robots. They are not so often used in Croatian production, but from my experience. But I would say that we can see that technology is going forward, and producers have a huge issue with the labor. And I think that we will not wait too long to have them regularly on our farms and orchards. So with the time, with the more pressure, with the labor and with the bigger investment, we will see them too, of course, in the future. From the other point of view, of course, as a whole world, we will have a sociological impact of those technologies because we have a negative demographic, we have pricing pressures, we have from the other side the technology development, and I think that we will witness the huge change in the next decade, in the next period. Finally, I think that we can expect the maybe special technology taxes in a moment when our governments wouldn't have enough income from taxing labor, because I think that we will see the very radical changes, and I think that we will have a big discussion about that as a societies, as a countries in the future.
Okay, Vedran, thanks for this wide explanation. You told us at the beginning that with your media you cover 3 countries. Mm-hmm. And maybe you can tell us something more about the agriculture sector in those regions.
Yes, I can comment briefly about the farming in the region because we provide services in ex-Yugoslavia, we can say. First of all, there is a big difference between these 3 countries. Croatia is part of the EU market, but Serbia and Bosnia are not. So that makes a big difference in a farming sector, in a merchandising and trading of agriculture goods. Serbia it is nowadays on a way to become an EU member, and implementation processes of the new rules are not maybe fast as planned, but things are going. There are some quite notable investments with IPARD. I would say that nowadays administration took a huge step forward. They established the payment agency for EU funding, and it's a quite big deal for them. On the other side, Bosnia recently got candidate status, so it was a big news a few months ago, and because of the very complex political situation in that country, I personally do not expect some rapid improvements. But it's good news that they opened that European perspectives. So when we see the volumes, the Serbian production is bigger than Croatian or Bosnian. But when we compare those markets, because of the geography and the natural resources, agriculture is a bit different. If we go to details about the Croatian farming, which is transforming, and I would say unfortunately, but it had some casualties on that way. We had situation that many people left their homes and families and moved to the Western European countries because of lacking decent jobs and salaries in rural areas. It was especially in a few years after we entered the EU. I would say that nowadays we can see some kind of stabilization of situation in Croatia, in my country. Like the rest of the European Union, the different sectors of agriculture have different movements. It's not easy to talk in general, but we can say that, for example, the cereals and oilseed sector had very good results in the last few years, but we cannot say the same with the milk and meat production because of the high prices and a lot of mess on the market. Also, I think that we can say that we have a lot of space for improvement in fruit and vegetable production. We import a lot from different countries, so because of big demand, especially in the tourist season, I think that we can do step forward. Also, I would say that it is kind of good news that we have quite a lot of investment in that sector in the last period, and I think it will bring a good result for us in the future. We have more and more high quality products with greater added value, like I don't know, maybe premium wines or olive oils or some special, very very traditional meat delicacies. So maybe to conclude, I think that we are on the way to ensure the more significant exposure of our products than we did before. So you can expect the better results from these regions, and you can expect the bigger impact of our agriculture in the EU.
All right, thank you, Vedran. It was a real nice and interesting overview from your perspective. We're now at the end of this episode, so thank you very much indeed to Vedran Stapic, professional journalist from Croatia, chief editor of Agroklub. Toti Talk is the podcast powered by Tractor of the Year, the International Award for Agricultural Tractors. Follow us on our social media, and for more information about us, visit tractoroftheyear.org.